Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge. Here to discuss some Arsenal action as we are going to be previewing the upcoming 2018-19 season for the Premier League with Unai Emery at helm after 22 years of Arsene Wenger. Now, boys and girls, I know you guys are all thinking, the Wenger Uppergate's finally gone. And yeah, I know that whole part of our sect is more or less gone, I hope. But the one thing I will say about Wenger is that there's not a lot of managers who do think about the long term and, the longevity of the club like Wenger did. And Wenger has set up all the pieces for Emery to succeed. Not necessarily that he knew it was going to be Emery, but he laid the foundation for the next successor to be successful. And so I think Emery has all the chance in the world to succeed. And now, if we look at the starting 11, and boys and girls, you know what I do on my free fucking time? Do shit like this. I make up, starting 11s, run through what the fuck I think is going to be good for our club. And, I'd say if we can play Aubameyang out wide, and I know there's going to be a lot of naysayers to that, but hey, he can provide the pace, he stretches that back he stretches that fullback to the point where they get discombobulated when he has a fucking ball sometimes, right? Now, there's argument to be made, he's a natural striker, but leaving Lacazette on the bench seems like a ridiculous idea, and I know we're not going to be switching to a 4-4-2 anytime soon, so this honestly might be the best way to really compromise. So I'd say run a 4-3-3, right? Mkhitaryan, Lacazette, Aubameyang on the top three, Ozil, Torreira, good God, I can barely pronounce names today. And Ramsey in the three, in the fucking, Illuminati midfield. And you get Monreal, Papadopoulos, Mustafi, and Bellerin. Yeah, if you want to have the club with the most ridiculous fucking surnames, Arsenal's the club for you, boys and girls. And burn Lino behind the fucking net with Petr Cech coming off for, cup competitions. And honestly, having Petr Cech coming off of, domestic cup competitions and even Europa League competition will be really good for, I think, the chemistry of the club. Mainly because this is a veteran leader who, let's be frank, when we're in the Europa League or the domestic or any of these domestic cups, we're going to play youngsters. And having a veteran leader like Petr Cech is going to just elevate a lot of these young cats' game. Now, in a few months, I might be eating my words, but this is where I stand right now in terms of what veteran leadership can mean for younger guys coming up. And so, obviously, I think with the mass exodus of former Arsenal favorites, it's going to be a really interesting time for Arsenal. And obviously, other players that we do have to talk about, I think Guendouzi is going to be a stud, probably later in the latter half of the season. This is a young kid. He's coming in from League 2 and of France, and it's good. Obviously, we always say it takes time for these cats to adjust. So let's sit back. He's still a young kid, and I think Guendouzi's going to be fucking awesome. Socrates Papadopoulos, solid defender. I know he's been having an inconsistent time, and we're just talking about some new signings right now. But yeah, I mean, Socrates is a fucking center back presence of which the likes we kind of needed for a while. So this is also good. Lino, I've been screaming goalkeeper for ages. So this is another great fucking addition. Lichtsteiner is going to be a really good relief for Bellerin. Bellerin pressuring, to be in that right back position with Carl Jenkinson or Matthew Debussy beforehand to fucking relieve him, really? No, fuck that. Lichtsteiner is going to be a great... No, again, all these key moves, I feel like it emphasizes the balance of young blood and veterans. And so, with that being said, I think Arsenal can prove a lot of people wrong. But this is where I think Arsenal will land in the 2018-19 season for all competitions. Premier League, 4th place. Europa League, semifinals or higher. FA Cup, quarterfinals or below. The League Cup, I'd also say quarterfinals or below. Reason why I say this is because in the Premier League right now, the Premier League preview, which I will be doing in just a couple of minutes here, I think it's just so stacked. I think the Premier League is so stacked in talent that Arsenal is going to have a troublesome time to climb their way to the top. Not to mention the fact that even the mid-tier, quote-unquote mid-tier teams are absolutely competitive. Look at teams like Fulham, Burnley, Newcastle United, even Watford, right? Or Wolverhampton Wolves. And so you have all these sleepers, in my opinion, that you can't discount, and the Premier League is going to be that much harder to go against. Unai Emery, first season, it is going to be much more difficult to go through. Europa League, I still feel that Unai Emery has the pedigree to schedule through a very, I'd say a very just competition-heavy season, and so he can manipulate through and get you to June. That's my personal belief for the Europa League, and I definitely think he has the mental discipline to instill in his players to get to the semis at least. FA Cup and the League Cup, I honestly think this is going to come down to fatigue. It's not really going to, maybe on the day it might be down to the individual player performances, but I think just based on how the scheduling works for England, I think fatigue will settle in, and maybe unluckiness with strength of schedule, who we draw against. So that's what I think for now. And so again, guys, if you just needed a real quick run through, Premier League, I think Arsenal's going to land 4th, Europa League above the semifinals. Semifinals are above, FA Cup and League Cup quarterfinals are below. You like that shit? Well, click the links in the description and follow me at the SkyLounge. Comment and subscribe for daily contents. Now fuck off.